Football is back, and NFL football is back, and I think we're all glad it is. It was a fun weekend for some, um, for a spectator. For as a football fan, you know, it had its moments. It tugged your heartstrings. It had you on the edge of your seat, as usual. Now, wasn't my best week of picks, but still, was good. I went 11-5, 11-5, 11 went this week in my picks. Steelers burned me. I should say 49ers did. Chargers lost by 1. But nonetheless, we're going to talk about the events. Football this past weekend, NFL and college. UFC 293, talk about the events that have transpired there. We have a new middleweight king once again, Sean Strickland. Go over those festivities and as well as dive into predictions for week 2. But before we get into anything, thank you all for joining me. If you're new to the podcast and you want to subscribe or show some love to the podcast, subscribe there in the corner, as well as the notification bell to find out when I post my videos. I did post my first YouTube short earlier. Giving my quick predictions for the primetime games that are this weekend for week 2. I may start doing shorts now. 1 minute piece. Maybe a couple a week. I think it maybe I'll do. I don't want to do too much because although they're only like a minute, some work goes into and I enjoy this, format of a video summarizing everything. But of course, it's 2023. Since then, I'm trying to do new things, obviously, for the podcast. So, probably start doing shorts more often now. We'll see. But nonetheless, thank you. So, first news. I figure I start it off with this before leaning it towards the end. Just because why am I good notes as far as NFL Week 1. But look, if you're a fan of NFL football, you were definitely pumped for or excited to see Jets Bills on Monday night. Even if you weren't a Bills or Jets fan, you're definitely pumped to see how the matchup would unfold. You know, it's like the hype going in. Aaron Rodgers, with the Jets, they have a very good defense. Garrett Wilson, the reigning offensive rookie of the year. Brees Hall, coming back. Dalvin Cook, they signed. They have some solid tight ends. And you think, okay, Aaron Rodgers, new place, very good team. Let's see how it goes. And then 4 plays in, so okay. So he went down. Actually, so he got a sack from Larry Floyd. He got up. He was hobbling at first, so he thought, okay, but at least he was up. Next thing you know, he goes down. He clutches at behind his knees, and you're like, uh-oh. So then he gets help towards the sideline, goes in the blue tent. You think, okay, well, it didn't look terrible at first. So I'm sure fans originally thought, okay, it wasn't a non-contact injury. He had a calf injury throughout the offseason, so he thought, okay, maybe that's just aggravated, maybe just bothering him again. So it's like, okay. Then you see the car come out and thought, oh, shoot. Okay. Dang it, Sari. So he saw the car go out. And you're like, oh. Then he gets off it, and you're like, okay, well, at least it's on the cart, but then he was still limping. So shows back. Then it shows, okay, it's an ankle injury, and it's questionable. So it's like, okay, maybe just wrap it up, give him something, to maybe go out after halftime to finish if they can just keep it close. Then it's found out that before halftime, he's ruled out. And the fact that he's ruled out that quick, you're like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. He literally just was on the field, all this hype, and then, yeah. Now, they did win the game in great, exciting fashion, which I'll get into in a bit, but nonetheless, Aaron Rodgers has ruptured his Achilles and is out for the season. Now, it's tough because like I said, the hype, the excitement, the expectations he brought to this team just flat out, basically went out the window. Now, they still have a good team, really good team around the quarterback position. Skilled receivers. I mentioned running backs, the defense. Still a really good team, and they still could be competitive, and still could ink out a wild card position. Who knows? But now it's like, they probably have to bring in another QB to be a backup or compete with Zach Wilson. But it's like, it's tough. Jameis Winston. If they call Tom Brady, he's not going to be the backup. Philip Rivers, same. I don't think he would be the backup. Well, maybe. Cam Newton, a big presence. Andy Dalton, Joe Flacco. Used to be, there are possibilities. It's just, deflating for a team that had Super Bowl aspirations with him. It also proves the point that turf field for NFL stadiums is a problem. If the NFL was very hyped about Rodgers and being with the Jets, they can blame, and they support turf, they can only blame themselves, really, for this, because this is just a downer for the NFL. No other words to describe it. But I hope, because, well, you never know, because he's 39, close to 40. He did sign a multi-year deal with the team after the trade. However, just you don't know, because that injury, close to 40, it's like you don't know. At this point, Aaron Rodgers on the path. Same with Brett Favre. He's on the path to be with the Vikings next year. Who knows? I just hope that wasn't the last time we seen Aaron Rodgers step on a football field. But you never know. Like I said, he's 39. Injury like that is difficult to come back from. So, we'll see. But unless we shall go to the previous of NFL football games for this week. So, week one, besides, was very fun. Very fun indeed. Like I said, 11-5. Did pick a couple upsets, which very good. So let's give perspectives on all the games as much as we can because there were some fun ones throughout the week. We started out with an interesting clash on Thursday opening day when the Lions went to up Arrowhead on opening day for the ranked Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Chiefs were without Travis Kelce and Chris Jones. Chiefs offense was a mixed bag. Plenty of drops, yes. However, they did have some success. They managed to throw the ball well on a couple drives, and then throughout the game, they had some success throwing the ball. But the real turning point was, I would say 14-7. Mahomes throws past to Kadarius Toney, which was the first of many drops he had of the night, which resulted in a pick six by Brian Branch to tie the game up. And then after 2 field goals, the Lions marched down with a convincing drive and culminating in a touchdown run by David Montgomery and the extra point for the lead. And yeah, it was certainly a fun game. And, Chiefs had their chances at the end to, try to get down for a drive to at least get one last field goal. But that wasn't the case. Lions defense held tight. Again, credit some drops by Chiefs. But the Lions won that. And that's the thing. People can say what they want. They didn't have Kelce. They didn't have Jones. At the end of the day, the Lions' offensive line had a hell of a game. Jared Goff played cleanly, and they won. I hated how Mike Tirico said, I get it. 2 of their biggest stars were on the field, but, in this league, you take wins however you can. And this was a huge win for the Lions. Week 1 in Arrowhead against the champs, and they got it done. Credit to the Lions and credit to their fan base. Yeah. Chiefs, can say what we want, but at the end of the day, look, they did still have a chance at the end, despite those drops and despite having those 2 key players, but they couldn't get done in the end. So, yeah. The Falcons looked pretty good in isolating Bryce Young and souring his debut as they won 24-10. Bijan Robinson had a good day. 75 yards on the ground, over 50 in the air. He had his first touchdown, which was a nice swing pass by Desmond Ridder. He didn't have a great day. He had a little over $150 in yards, but did all right, or had a little over 100 yards, but last did all right. Did what he needed to do. Sucks they didn't have Cordero Patterson because, I think they're all waiting for that whole backfield. Algier, Robinson, and Patterson to all be together. I think that's just the thing. Bryce Young, he looked okay in his debut. Learning process. Chark and Thielen were both kind of banged up going into the matchup. Hurst had a good day, though. Seems to be the favorable target for Bryce Young. So, see. But yeah, some good things, though, about Bryce in his debut. Ravens won 25-9. It looked a bit sloppy from the Ravens. Multiple fumbles, but they got done. For a while, the Texans moved the ball, but Ravens did their job. Texans did get a pick off Lamar Jackson, but Zay Flowers had a heck of a day. Goes for him. OBJ had a big catch late, so there you go. So yeah, probably the biggest. I would say the most unexpected, probably, of the day was the Browns blowing out the Bengals 24-3. It was wet and rainy for a bit in Cleveland. So for a while it was a stalemate. Bengals were shot at half. It just felt like a defensive slugfest, but eventually the dam cracked for the Bengals. The Browns were able to move the ball well. Running game. Nick Chubb moved very well. Deshaun Watson made a few throws. He had that one nice rushing touchdown. Myles Garrett played his butt off. So yeah, goes for him. And the Jags are in the win column as well. They beat the Colts in Indy, although it wasn't real pretty. But they won 31-21 in Indy. Anthony Richardson looked good. He had a rushing touchdown and a throwing touchdown as well. And, Colts had the lead in the fourth quarter, 21-17 after that fumble recovery for a touchdown. But you know, Jack scored quick, and that was the end of it. Calvin Ridley seems back to form. I believe 9 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. So credit there. Yeah, that's a hell of a duo going forward. Baker Mayfield, his Buccaneers debut, spoiled the Vikings' home start of the season. They won 20-17 in Minnesota. The Vikings had the game won. I think we can seemingly say, but multiple fumbles and a interception in the red zone. It wasn't pretty. But we'll say for Baker, he made some nice throws. That run at the end where he needed to tuck his shoulder and get the win. He got it done. So happy for Baker there. We'll see how it goes from here. Vikings, Jefferson had a great day. Over 150 yards. Credit, he had buck 39 of them in the first half. So you get my point. But, they'll be fine. They just, I think, need to clean some stuff up, and we'll see. It was kind of a slugfest, I think we could say, in New Orleans, as Saints won by 16-15 over the Titans, as you expect against the Titans. Derek Carr's Saints debut wasn't all perfect, but got the job done. Rashid Rice looked good. Chris Olave made a couple plays. Rashid Shaheed. There you go. Rice plays on the Chiefs. My bad. Tannehill didn't look great. I think we could say. He had multiple picks in this game, but then again, the Saints have good defense. And still the Titans almost won this. So, yeah. It was a slugfest, and it was good for the first season, or first week of the season. What was not good for the Steelers is they got blown out at home 37 by the 49ers. The best thing was TJ Watt had 3 sacks. I think it's safe to say he's back to form. But yeah, the 49ers gripped the lead at the beginning and did not surrender, really. I mean, when the Steelers looked like they got some momentum at the end of half and they got a touchdown, 49ers fired back with a long rushing touchdown by McCaffrey. And that was it. The Pickett, Steelers, someone's ball in the red zone, but couldn't capitalize. So, yeah. Commanders capitalized well as they won 2016 against Arizona, albeit it was tough. But Commanders got it done. Great for. It seems like the fan base is much re-energized by Josh Harris, their new owner, and, Sam Howell. He looked well in his 2023 debut. Albeit the offense wasn't pretty, but they got it done. So, there you go. It was not pretty I will say though, for the Cardinals, they could play competitive and with Josh Dobbs, albeit they didn't get it done, but, people said, they expect him to tank for Caleb Williams, and then, nonetheless, they competed and they had a chance at the end. Bears offense looked, God. Offensive line sunk for the most parts. I'm sorry, but credit to Packers defense. They played really well. And, they showed, in Jordan Love's debut that 2023 debut as the full-time starter, he was efficient. He did do all right, and he moved the ball well. Behind the two running backs, Christian Watson wasn't there, but Romeo Dobbs was there, Matt as well, so good for him, and they got it done. Same with the Raiders, they got it done by one. 17-16, first of all, I apologize to the 49ers and the Packers for picking against them. We'll say that. But, yeah, Raiders and Jimmy G got it done. The debut. Credit to Sean Payton in his first regular season game as the coach of the Broncos. Called for the onside kick. Like the first play of after halftime in the Super Bowl versus the Colts, where he called an onside kick. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way, but competitive game, and Raiders moved the ball well. Let's see that Jacoby Myers seems okay after that bad hit. But yeah, Devontae Adams had a heck of a game. They were moving it well. Jimmy G still looks weird in a Raiders uniform, I think we can say, but yeah. Still feels a little left to be desired. And I'll credit the first game for the Broncos, but we'll see. And yeah, this was the game of the week. Some would say Dolphins over the Chargers. Tua versus Burrow. Tua won this one. 36-34, and SoFi. It was great back and forth. Chargers had their chance at the end. That intentional grounding sack on Burrow really hurt them. So, yeah. Credit to Vic Fangio's defense when they came out most. They got it done. Credit there. And then Eagles. It looked a bit shaky versus the Patriots in Tom Brady Appreciation Day, but they got it done, 25-20. Yeah, I mean, well, I think we can say that the Eagles, they jumped out to 16-0 early. Pick six by Mac Jones, fumble by Zeke. I mean, it wasn't looking pretty, but the Patriots came back, made it 16-14. Then after a 16-0, the Patriots outscored them 20-9. Yeah. Credit to Mac Jones. He stayed in it. Albeit we had a chance at the end, but yeah. And then I'm happy for Matthew Stafford as, almost refreshed as the Rams triumphed over the Seahawks in Seattle 30-13. Nakua, he's a guy to look out for. No Cooper Kupp. Nakua and Tutu Atwell. They both had over 100 yards. So, yeah, credit to them. See how they go from here. Considering how they finished last season, we can definitely say that 13 points by the Seahawks offense felt underwhelming. Shoot, where did my thing go? My note. Oh, okay. My notes. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The DK Metcalf shove at the end perfectly personified and described the frustrations that I'm sure Seahawks fans felt coming off last season. Seeing this score, and yeah. Overwhelming. And I mean, you kept thinking to yourself, like, it was halftime. They missed a couple field goals, and they kept moving the ball. So, yeah. 40-0, is just a snowball effect of crazy how momentum shifts. But Cowboys shut out the Giants 40-0 on Sunday night. Giants were moving the ball on the first drive and went for a field goal, was blocked, went the other way for a touchdown. I mean, just after that, it didn't go the Giants' way. And, yeah. After that, was pretty much all Cowboys. And rained on the Giants. Jets Bills. Now getting into the game. So, Okay. So it was 13-3 at the half. And you thought, okay, well, defense doing what they can. Um, Look, last year, I think people forget that in week 9, there was that game between the Jets and the Bills where was Zach Wilson playing as a starter, and they won 20-17. Yeah, the Jets defense run the ball well. You know what I mean? Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall, that is some duo to have in the backfield. And yeah, it just sucks the Rodgers injury, but the defense hung tight. And Jordan Whitehead had a night to remember. 3 interceptions off Josh Allen. And fumble. Um, they got that touch on the Garrett Wilson to tie up. And then yeah, the fumble after to get the lead with field goal, and then the Bills doink it, and it goes in to send it to overtime by Tyler Bass, and then walk-off punt return for a touchdown, Xavier Gibson, to win it. Now, credit tripping, they pointed out, but, credit for the Jets, staying in it. As a fan of the Bills and as a fan of as a football fan, we can honestly say, and as a fan of Josh Allen, he didn't have a good night. He did not have a good night. I mean, let's be honest. If Aaron Rodgers was playing and Josh Allen played that way, they would have gotten blown out probably by 10 points. Or it would have been like 30 16 or something like that. Yeah, third interception was a great play. I think, by Whitehead. The first two really made you scratch your head because they were in double coverage. You're like, what the heck? I mean, really, for Josh Allen, it was just like not great. You can say. But credit for Jets, I did pick them win 20. I didn't pick them win like that, but they won 22-16 overtime, so there you go. We gotta give some credits to the Longhorns in Texas because I don't think anyone had a bigger win of college football this past weekend than the old Longhorns of Texas, as it was the biggest game of this weekend, and Texas knocked it out of the park. And they won. They silenced Tuscaloosa 34-24. I mean, they held Alabama to 6 points at the half. Ewers played his ass off. Credit to, yeah. Great for him. Great for Texas. Go for the new top 25 in a bit. But yeah, we had some good moments throughout the weekend. You know, Utah survived against Baylor. They came back and then they had a skeleton. Colorado, you know, blew out Nebraska. Nebraska, Matt Rule's era is not starting off pretty. But Colorado wins again, and they are moving up on up. Ole Miss came back to beat Tulane, and they're one to watch as well. Miami and the Hurricanes surrounded A&M, and they're now welcome in the top 25. UNC had a scare as well, but they won in overtime against App State 40-34. Well, it was also a fun-filled game. Oregon, the Ducks, triumphed against Texas Tech 38-30. Albeit I'm surprised they still have their ranking so high, but yeah. Wisconsin got swept out of the top 25 by Washington State 31-22. Yeah, we had some good action this week. We got no ring matchups going into this week, but let's talk about the new top 25 because, you know, rankings look interesting. So, Georgia and Michigan still number 2, 1-2. Florida State moved up to 3. Now, prior, Bama was 3, Texas was 11. But then with Texas blowout or big triumph win over Bama, Florida State moved up. Texas moved to 4. USC then bumped up to 5. Ohio State, despite winning again, they fell down to 6. Penn State stayed same, 7. Washington, 8. Notre Dame, 9. Bama fell all the way to 10. I mean, I think it's fair, you know, if it was me, I think Alabama should be behind Tennessee, but only one spot apart. You know, Tennessee 11. You just, but then back to the back half. Ole Miss moved up 17. Colorado moved up again to 18. Colorado talked down. The Hurricanes swept in to 22. Washington State then moved to 23 with their big win over Wisconsin. So we're getting plenty of movement throughout the top 25. So keep on the lookout, certainly. As we can solemnly say. So UFC 293. In a week of upsets, as we expect, Sean Strickland, the new UFC middleweight king, as he beat two-time champion Israel Adesanya in a hard-fought decision. You know, it seemed like ever since the end of the first round, when Strickland dropped Adesanya wasn't the same. You know, when you get tagged, when you feel a guy's power, you get cautious. And it felt like that. Adesanya felt Strickland's power and didn't feel confident. I guess his chin against Adesanya's power, so he was, in and out, being cautious. Ultimately, it lost him the fight and lost him his title. So yeah, there you go. The co-main event. Interesting. So, prior to this fight, the only man to use an Ezekiel choke in the UFC and win with it was the ball constrictor Alexei Oleinik. Until Saturday night, Alexander Volkov, who we know is lengthy and tall and strong, against Tai Tuivasa, won with an Ezekiel choke. And yeah, got it done. Volkov, we know top tier of MMA fighter he is. He's always been on the cusp of that, top tier, but never quite cracking. So we'll see. Think he deserves a top 5 fight. Love to see him fight. The winner of Almeida versus Curtis Blades. Rematch with Aspinall again. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah. So now we look to UFC or NFL Week 2 predictions time. So, for those who saw my short earlier, I did go over my predictions for the primetime games. Well, now let's go through the rest and get my thoughts there. So, for those who didn't watch it, now I'll get my full predictions for NFL Week 2. So for Thursday, Vikings at Eagles. Eagles are 7-point favorites. I think Vikings cover. It's interesting. Eagles will be without 2 off defensive starters. Nakobe Dean and James Bradbury. So, interesting though. Vikings cover, but Eagles win 28-24. So then we go to Atlanta for Green Bay and the Falcons. Interesting matchup because we know how Jordan Love, both teams looked solid on Sunday, in their 2023 debuts. Both have young stars across the board. Ultimately, though, I think I'm going to have to go Green Bay, though, to win 20-17 in Atlanta. We'll see. Raiders, 1-0 Raiders, go to Buffalo to face Josh Allen, the Bills. Bills 9.5-point favorites. I think that's been much after what we just saw. But still, I think Bills bounce back and they win 28-22 against the Raiders. Yeah. I mean, James Cook, I thought he had a heck of a day against the Jets. Ravens at Bengals, an interesting matchup. Ravens, how will J.K. Dobbins' torn ACL, that really affect him? And what's that? Mark Andrews, we'll see. But I think side one, Bengals win and they cover 27-21. So, yep. This one, the sneaky matchups of week 2. Seattle at Detroit, a rematch of last year. This was why the Seahawks got to make the playoffs instead of Detroit. We can say, well, yes, Baker Mayfield and the Rams didn't win that game. But at the same time, Seahawks had the tiebreaker. So at the end of the day, that's what decided. But I'm going with the Lions here. Seahawks cover, but Lions win 24-20. Chargers go to Tennessee. Interesting matchup. I believe based on last year, I think this game Herbert threw multiple picks. And then it was either last year, I believe. And they got done with a last-digit field goal. This go around, 10-0 played horrible, and they still almost won. I predict he will clean some things up, give him more to Henry and the Spears. Chargers secondary, I don't think it is as good as Saints secondary is, and I think more timing with DeAndre Hopkins. I think I'm going with the Titans for the upset, 26-24. Chicago at Tampa Bay. Bucks 3-point favorites against Justin Fields. Now, it wasn't Baker's cleanest game, but they got it done. To be honest, after what I saw, I don't trust the O-line of the Bears. And, Villa, and those guys up front may be a bit trouble for the Bears O-line. So I got the Bucs 24-17. Jags hosting the Chiefs may sound silly. Now, Chris Jones signed a 1-year extension, so he sounds like he's going to be back. Travis Kelce seems to be progressing. People forget, though, that Jaguars had, played well with the Chiefs both times in Arrowhead last season. One in the regular season and then in the playoffs. This is in Jacksonville. It's going to be probably a different environment. I'm going with the Jags for the upset, 30-27. Definitely the closest pick'em. This good, no double-digit lines this week. Colts at the Texans. Colts 1-point favorite on the road. Like I said, Anthony Richardson played well. He did get hurt final minute of the game. Trevor Lawrence was talking about take care of yourself. Houston did move the ball, but I don't know. I felt more convinced by the Colts than I did the Texans. I'm going to go with the Colts here to win and cover 20-17. One of the interesting matchups of the weekend, 49ers at the Rams. The 49ers, we know, had that string of 6 straight victories. Rams won the NFC title game en route to the Super Bowl. 49ers won both times last year. Here, I think we can honestly say the Rams played much better than we expected without Kupp, Nakua, and Tutu Atwell. Now, 49ers will be tough. We know. But I expect a fight from the Rams and they cover, but 49ers win 27-24. And SoFi. Giants 5.5-point favorites at Arizona after getting shut out. Now, look, it just got out of their hands. I think we can honestly say out their game plan versus Cowboys. Arizona doesn't have that type of offense or defense to take you out of your game plan. We can honestly say. And, Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hyatt, Darren Waller. This is the type of game for them to get refreshed, to get more time with each other or chemistry. So 21-16. Cardinals barely cover, but Giants win 21-16. This sucks because Aaron Rodgers' injury, but I do think this is going to be a physical game based on the defenses in this matchup. Jets at Cowboys. Cowboys 8.5-point favorites. Yeah, this is going to be a physical matchup on both sides of the ball with defense. If Aaron Rodgers was playing, I don't think this would be 8.5 points. And I would be tempted to pick the Jets, but last is Zach Wilson, and I'm going with the Cowboys 24-16. Washington going to Denver. Denver 3.5-point favorites. Washington played well under new ownership, new quarterback. Broncos. Some things were different, but I still saw a 16 on the board and felt underwhelmed. They did show different things. Same with Washington. I'm going Commanders win this 24-20 on the road. And physical bout. On Sunday Night Football, I mentioned Dolphins going to New England. Patriots played a lot better than I think we all thought. Miami, I do think they may have emptied the gas tank a bit in SoFi, so it'll be a little bit of come down, but still a good offense day. 26-23, they win in New England. Saints at Carolina. Saints obviously played well. Carolina had some ups and downs, but Saints win though 23-17. And then to end Monday night, we got the Browns at the Steelers. I do expect Steelers to play better. And you do kind of worry because it seemed like almost everything went well for the Browns week 1. But I do think they may have found a formula. And, Jim Schwartz as a defense coordinator feels right for the Browns. So, yeah. 26-21 in Pittsburgh. Yeah. But, yeah, that's what I got for the podcast today, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, help out the channel, click the like, leave a thumbs up. See you guys next time for sports overview of topics. But thank you guys. It was fun. Of course, have a safe day and week, y'all. Subscribe as well. See you guys next time. Adios. Peace.